Hey guys, Furum here, and I am so excited to be back for more ESL Mobile Open action. I will be your co-host in the North American division for the Asphalt 9 finals this season. It's easy to get involved. Right now, the qualifiers are happening for iOS and Android, so if you would like to have a chance to compete in the final rounds and be casted by Inverum and me, this is the perfect opportunity for you. Every week, I will be creating a recap video such as this one to keep you up to date on everything that has gone on the past week in the qualifiers, as I will be breaking down the runs of some of the top players as they're on their way to perhaps becoming the Mobile Open champion. And hopefully, I will be checking out some of your races here on the channel in the coming weeks. Let's get down to business and check out the run of the winner of the first Android qualifier. His name is Kokudeyu, and he uses a technique called wiggle drifting at the beginning of this race to gain enough nitro for a shockwave to be able to get the best speed on that ramp that he can, and using a couple of carefully timed bumps to stay in the air longer and maintain that airspeed. He then does a short drift around this turn and shockwaves off this ramp, not 360ing, so he doesn't lose a lot of speed, then saves up a bit more nitro by braking and is able to fly off this ramp also with shockwave. He takes the shorter route to the right here and comes up to a tight turn where he's able to drift to get enough nitro again for another shockwave to come into the first ship. Coming into the second ship, he does a couple of 360s to be able to have enough nitro to shockwave straight off this ramp here, allowing him to reach and maintain his top speed up through the second ramp as well. Since he hasn't touched the wall in a while, he gets a perfect run, which gives him more nitro to shockwave into the finish line for a final time of 58.443. Now let's check out the lap from the winner of the first iOS qualifier and see if Middle uses a lot of these same tricks as Kokudeyu, or if he has anything else up his sleeve. So he uses the same wiggle drifting technique at the beginning to gain the shockwave, gets that bump, but then upon landing here, gets an even higher bump than Kokudeyu and is able to get even more airspeed through that part. He also goes straight off this ramp with the shockwave, and throughout this section, both players' laps look very similar. I will do an analysis after both of these races, going through all the similarities and differences between them. He also takes the same route heading into the ship, the runs looking almost identical at this point, but he goes a little bit wide to go high on this ramp with the shockwave, allowing him to keep momentum going into the ship and still have enough nitro for this shockwave to keep the momentum up through this ramp as well. He then stays more toward the left to be able to fly off this little hill, gets a perfect run at the perfect time, and shockwaves to victory with a final time of 57.524. Now that we've seen both winning laps, let's take a deeper look and see what exactly made these runs so special. So the first thing I want to look deeper into is the route at the beginning. So you can either go to the right of the ramp and stay down low, or go to the left and go up the ramp and go up high. Both players start drifting back and forth as early as they can to save up nitro. If you are able to save up for a shockwave before the jump and stay in shockwave until you reach your maximum airspeed, which is 33% higher than your maximum speed on the ground, and especially if you can get this jump into the air at the top of the hill, going to the left will be faster in most cars than going to the right. After a lucky extra bounce, which gave him some more airtime, Middle gets 2 barrels on this ramp, whereas Kokudeyu only gets 1. However, this doesn't really come into play much, as they both have enough nitro for shockwave after doing a little bit of drifting to go straight off this ramp with their maximum speed. To the right upon landing, there's a little ledge which you can go off of to get some airspeed, which will give you momentum to go up this ramp here with even more speed in the air. And again, Middle gets 2 barrels, whereas Kokudeyu only gets 1, but again, it does not seem to affect their performance so far in the race. The route to the right after the jump is faster in most cars, especially slower ones, and if you have a car with a good drifting radius like the CAYMAN, you will be able to make that turn into the ship without too much speed loss from hitting the wall. Here the race are split, with Kokudeyu taking a shorter route toward the inside and Middle taking a longer route, but one that allows him to get more momentum and more speed coming into the ship. This also means he doesn't have to do a second 360 in the ship, which slowed Kokudeyu down a bit, but they are finally able to both get to this ramp with their shockwave and come to the final ramp in the race, with Middle again getting 1 more barrel versus Kokudeyu, 3 versus 2 this time. And we see a similar situation as earlier, where Kokudeyu takes a shorter route, whereas Middle takes a slightly longer route that allows him to get more airspeed. Then they both do a short drift around the last bend to be able to get enough nitro for a shockwave to reach the finish line with nearly top speed. And this wraps up our analysis of the winners of the first Android and iOS iOS qualifiers. So this has been your recap of the first week of qualifiers for the ESL Mobile Open Asphalt 9 finals. We've seen some amazing runs from two of the most skilled players this time around, but there's still a chance for you to get in on all the action. Go try out the qualifiers for yourself, and you might just find your race casted by me in a later recap video. I wish everyone the best of luck. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!